students, how are you all? Welcome to your English class. Today we are going to discuss about new chapter Goodbye Pasha Begum. This is written by Subhadra Sen Gupta. In this chapter we will read a story about a girl who travels in time to the Mughal era. We will study collocations, proverbs, derivatives. We will also study simple, complex and compound sentences. We will also learn about the usage of semicolon and colon while reading. And in the end, we will listen to a passage, fill in the blanks and read about readers' theatre and perform a play. That is the activity related to this chapter. And we will also study about writing an informal letter, which we have already done previously also. So let's start with the reading. Bindi is bored of sightseeing monuments on her holiday and wants to do something more exciting. Suddenly, she time travels into Mughal era. Read on to know what happens next. I'm sure all this marble stuff is very beautiful, but right now I'm hungry, thought Bindi grimly. Grimly means seriously. Shah Jahan on an empty stomach is definitely not my scene. The family was on holiday in Delhi and her Baba means father. The amateur means someone who takes part in activity for pleasure, not for money. The amateur historian was deciding where they would go. In the last 4 days, they had overdosed on history. Overdose means something more than enough. They had trudged around the Qutub Minar. Trudged around means walked slowly with a lot of efforts. Humayun's tomb and the new Red Fort. Monuments are okay, but what about shopping at Janpat? Chaat at Bengali market? A shopping mall, please? Come and look at this inlay work on marble. Baba beckoned them closer. Beckon means to ask something to follow, move hand or head to tell someone to follow. So, the family is on a trip to Delhi and they have visited so many places, Qutub Minar, Humayun's tomb and Red Fort. But this girl Bindi, she's bored of sightseeing all these monuments and she wanted something to eat, to shop, do some shopping and all. So, but her father, he has searched so many things in the history and he wants to show her more sights of all the different monuments which are there in Delhi. Oh, that flower looks so real. Malini, the older sister, breathed admiringly. It took dozens of separate pieces of colored stones to form a single flower. Ma was reading from her travel guide. So, they have seen something, a flower, and that flower is very beautifully and it is made of the pieces of stones of different colors and that is really very exciting. Malini, she is the elder sister and Bindi is the younger one. They were inside another pavilion which Ma announced was the Rang Mahal, the Palace of Colors. It's Rang Mahal, Palace of Colors. Bindi looked around and couldn't see any colors. It was all same, pale cream, dirty looking old marble. Bindi gloomingly dragged along behind the family. Her feet were aching, her eyes were tired. I think I'll rest a bit and join them later. So while they were seeing that Rang Mahal, Bindi, she was really very tired and she was just following her family members at very slow speed. And she thought that she will take some rest and join them later because her feet were aching and her eyes were really tired of watching all those monuments. She was actually not enjoying that sightseeing. The small room was quiet and cool. She slid on the floor in a corner leaning against the cool stone wall, stretched out her legs, tipped her head forward, and was soon asleep. She was too tired that she sat on in one corner of that small room, which was very cool and quiet, and it was made up of marble, so it was quite cool. Stone walls were there, and she just sat on the floor and stretched out her legs, and her feet and legs were really tired. Her eyes were also tired. She just closed her eyes and she fell asleep. The pungent, musky smell made her sneeze, and Bindi woke up with heart-thudding start. Pungent means very sharp smell, very warm and sweet sort of smell, musky, that she smelt, and she sneezed immediately, and this made her to wake up. As her eyes snapped open, she realized that it was night. She was sitting in a room lit by candles. Her family and all the tourists had vanished. She scrambled up. Scrambled up means immediately in urgency she stood up and looked around in panic. She was really very frightened because everybody has gone and it was night. She was not able to search her family members in that night, and everybody, all the tourists and her family members, they had vanished. The candles in tall candlesticks stood in this arched niche of the walls and were spots of dancing lights above her. She looked up and noticed the tiny mirrors set in the ceiling and that were reflecting the candle flames. So everywhere there was candlelight, and it was very decorative to see the lights that were reflected from the mirrors that were in the ceilings. As Bindi wondered, she stood petrified, very frightened, with her mouth open and her heart galloping. Galloping means her heart rate was really very fast because she was afraid, and it was at very increased rate. Everything had changed. The floor was covered with soft Persian carpets woven in jeweled colors. Rang Mahal glowed in the mellow golden light of candles and tall brass oil lamps. The open archways were hung with silk curtains. As when she entered during the daytime, she was saying that why we call it Rang Mahal or the Palace of Colors. Actually, she was not able to see any colors, just she was saying that there are pale yellow and dirty marble pieces over here. But during this night time, candles were glowing. The mirrors were in the mirrors in the ceilings. They were reflecting the lights, and different color stones are there in the ceilings and in the walls. And when lights were reflected from different sides, then it was the actual scene of that Rang Mahal. So she was able to see the glowing and the mellow golden light of candles. So it was the actual sight of Rang Mahal during that night time. She noticed that there were only women around her wearing shimmering floating clothes. She saw so many women around her who were wearing very shining clothes, floating clothes. There were a hum of conversation, but Bindi could not understand anything. There may be some sort of linguistic barrier, but there were some conversations, but she was not able to understand anything. "What are you doing here, girl?" A high-pitched, scratchy voice spoke behind her, making Bindi leap up. Then one among those women, she asked Bindi that, "What are you doing here?" And her voice was really very rough and harsh. A short woman stood before her. "Get back to work." "Work?" Bindi asked, puzzled. "What work?" "The work slave girls do." "Slave girl? Are you mad or what?" Bindi temper was up. The women hissed, "Do you know what you're talking to? Who you're talking to? Are you speaking in Urdu by chance?" Bindi asked curiously. "That's enough," the woman muttered through the gritted teeth and clapped her hands. Gritted means pressed top and bottom teeth with anger. "Koi hai?" she asked, and instantly two women ran up and stood bowing before her. "Bring this girl to my room. She has to be punished." The maids caught Bindi by her arms. They tied her hands with strip of cloth and pushed her down. Begum Sahiba leaned forward with a menacing snarl. Menacing snarl means in a very threatening way. No one gets away after insulting the princess of Taimuria dynasty. The Begum raised the whip. "Stop," said a calm, firm voice. "Let her go immediately." The Begum froze. A tall woman with large gentle eyes stood at the door. "What are you doing, Roshan? How many times have I told you that no one will be whipped? The girl is impenitent, Appa." Appa means Urdu word for elder sister. "If anyone is undisciplined, they are to be brought before me." The lady spoke softly. "I am the head of harem." She turned to the maids. "Untie her hands." So, those women, those who were having the conversation, one among them asked that, "What are you doing here? And why don't you get back to the work?" So when Bindi was asked this question, then she was really very surprised and afraid also that why they are asking me for work. Then that lady told that you are a slave girl and you have to work. But Bindi, she said that I am not the slave girl, and are you mad that you are asking such a question to me? So then that Begum, she was very angry with that sort of response and behavior from Bindi's side, because she couldn't even think of that somebody could dare to say something in front of her. So she asked the maids to bring her to her room and she will punish her. And then her elder sister came and she said that nobody should be whipped. So if anybody is not undisciplined, then that person should be brought in my notice and I'll be deciding how to control them or improve them. So Bindi, she was really very surprised and she was very threatened by all the things that were happening to her. If you have any doubt, any query, you can drop on Google Class. Thank you, Shan Stars. Take care, all of you.